Hi guys. Diluted? Sure. Lost? Never. Did I just pick like a bad day to do this? Anyway, we're just gonna have to, should I just close the window? Okay guys, I closed the window, so hopefully that will help a little bit to muffle the sounds, or at least help my voice to echo a bit more. So basically, I made a carousel on Instagram for impacttab, where it's like, use your talent or lose part of it. You know, very similar to that old cliche, use it or lose it. But I was thinking about that cliche, especially in relations to talent and my hobbies, revisiting my hobbies, a lot of them that I haven't done in a very long time. And it's like, I don't feel like I lost it necessarily. You know how like sometimes you'll do something, I'm like, okay, I still got it. Like I've definitely experienced that more than saying, oh my goodness, I can't do this thing anymore. So that's kind of where the inspiration of that comes from. I don't know why behind me is like so bright, but should I? Ooh, this is like cinematic. I will speak to you from right here for a little while. So yeah, basically that's where that inspiration comes from. There will be times, of course, where I'm doing my hobby and it feels like, dang, it's not exactly the same, but I still got it, stuff is still there. So yes, so anyway, a lot of times people are like, oh, you're first developing your talent, that's when you're really improving because you're engaging it so much, you're getting to practice so much. I know that's true for me, I feel like. I did a lot of dancing and athletics when I was younger, so I felt like I naturally developed body awareness. It was like because I did it so much, I naturally grew and improved, you know, this body awareness and this body control for my hobby of dancing. I was actually thinking about this cliche and I was just like, actually, not everything goes. So along the way of building up this body control and body awareness, some very specific things that I would say that I built up were like my strength, my precision, and my rhythm. Things like that were of course naturally built because I was working with them so much and I was exercising those skills so much while I was dancing. Not completely 24/7, but almost 24/7. I mean, I would either be dancing on a team or dancing in class, dancing by myself in my room. Sitting up in my room, dancing up in my room. Anyway, I won't do that too much, I promise. But eventually, I got older, but what that meant was that I actually had more responsibilities and I was finding myself in situations where I did not have time to dance, or I wasn't in an environment that allowed me to dance as much. I danced much less than I had ever done. So no dance classes, no dance crew, not a lot of dance performances anymore, you know, things like that. The most I did, because I love dance so much anyways, I would still dance, you know, at home, in my room, in the living room, in the kitchen, like almost anywhere, because like dancing is just something I love, it's the thing that I do unprovoked, so that I still made time for it, but like you gotta understand that it was different because I wasn't in spaces where I could go full out, and I didn't necessarily have a studio to go to either at the time. Now I do, but at that time I didn't. I did actually lose some stuff. I lost muscle mass. That was like the first thing to go. And when you're younger, you keep eating junk food because you're like, oh, I'm still young, my body can take it. And then at one point we might reach an age or a point in our lives where our body is like, whoa, no more. Like you need to bring it back, slow down. That's how I felt about my muscle for some reason. I'm like, because it was so natural, because I was so active throughout my life growing up, I was like, oh, I'll be fine. I have enough muscle to last me a few years without dancing like rigorously, like with a lot of rigor. Like I can like chill and still keep most of my muscle mass and stuff like that. No, I mean, yes, I think I'm still more fit than the average person, to be honest, because I danced for so long. But at the same time, it's not, of course, the same level. I think a visual will be better. So I imagined, like, let's say my original dance fitness was up here, and then like the threshold for where I start getting unfit is like right where my shoulders are. I thought that I would be like here. It's like, yeah, I'll probably decrease a little bit, but I'll still be fit. But what actually happened is I started to become like, I passed the threshold of what it would be considered for me to be like fit as a dancer. I would take class maybe once a year, twice a year, when I would find, you know, a moment to. And it would be so funny. Cause like technically I could keep up, especially like with following choreo, which we'll get to in a second. But I realized like, yeah, things like muscle mass, like having power behind certain moves when I would do choreography, and even just how to use certain muscles. I was like, dang, I don't even know how to do this. I don't remember what it feels like to move full out. I don't remember what it feels like to have to control like my speed or my muscle or my strength in this particular choreography, having to execute this kind of move because I haven't done it in so long. It was like, dang, like I didn't have that anymore. I was like, yo, I really need to exercise. Because those are things that I did honestly like lose, things that were not the same because I hadn't done my hobby of dancing in so long. And back to what I was saying, like slightly before this about the choreo, I could still keep up with the choreo, but that's because there are some things that simply remain. Most of those things were like groove, because I'm a very groovy dancer. Like my musicality was pretty much intact. So I could still follow the choreo. I could still count music. I still had rhythm. I'm just gonna say that was confirmation to what I just said. And I also had lines. My lines were still there. I still could do like a very straight line, very smooth lines, I still knew my body as far as body awareness, and I still knew how to find my way through the music. Those things felt so natural, even though there was like a gap or a space between the times that I would get to practice and engage that side of myself. It's just, you know, the muscle wasn't there. But yeah, but something about that felt so beautiful in a sense, because it's like, you might think that because you haven't done something in a very long time that you've lost it, or like, yeah, that you've lost it, that you don't have it anymore, that it doesn't exist inside of you, but some part of it does still remain with you. Like some things just inherently stay a part of you. And I think for me, it was really beautiful that like, even if I didn't have the power behind my moves, I could always build that back up with exercise. But things like still being able to tap into my intuition, because expressing myself through dance, using my body, you know, translating the music into a physical form, because that is so natural for me, because that was still so natural for me. I don't know, it made me feel closer to my craft. It made me feel like, I really do love dance. Like, oh right, dance really is something that's just a part of me. And you know, this scenario could exist in a different form for other people, like also a dancer, same as me, like maybe did dance and athletics all the way growing up, blah, 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 life happens. For me, I think I found a way to stay in touch with musicality and groove and stuff like that because I still danced in my living room and bumping into furniture and stuff. For someone else, maybe after life happens, they are drawn more towards the fitness side. Maybe they start hiking, or maybe they start rock climbing. So for them, maybe like the fitness is there. They're like,
No, I still have all the muscle. Like I could put power behind my moves. It's like, but I don't really listen to music that much anymore.
I don't remember how to like move to the beat. Like I don't have that part. Like that could happen, you know? But they still have like that muscle and that power because they stay connected to that. Or maybe they're really into fixing cars. They still have coordination and they still have muscle mass and like power behind it, but because they haven't really put that into moves and choreography in a long time, maybe they feel a little bit awkward in that sense. But anyway, I think it's really beautiful and important to reflect upon. Like, what is that thing, that hobby that you really, really love that you haven't done in a long time? You might be thinking to yourself, man, am I really able to still do this thing? And I would say that there's probably a lot within you that's still the same that would allow you to do your hobby. If you just like dip your toe into it, and as you're doing it, as you're doing your hobby again, as you're revisiting it, sure there will be a few things that might feel a little bit awkward, but as you're doing it, there will also be things that you feel like, hey, I still got it. Like, oh, this still feels natural for me. Like, oh, okay, I didn't forget this part. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting back in there, that kind of vibe. I'm not sure what your hobby is, but I hope that you revisit it. So yeah, I thought this carousel was really good. And you can read the actual carousel on my Instagram at impacttab. But yeah, I thought it was important enough to talk about, so I wanted to come here on YouTube and share it with you guys as well. Diluted? Sure. Lost? Never.